तू मेरा पिता, तू है मेरा माता, तू मेरा बंदप, तू मेरा भ्राता, तू मेरा राखा सबनी थाई तापोके हा काड़ा जियो तुमरी कृपा ते तुद पछाना तू मेरी ओट तू है मेरा माना तुझ बिन दूजा अवर न कोई सब तेरा खेल अखाड़ा जियो.
So, hi, welcome everybody to this meditation session. Today we have two guests here with us as well, international guests. So one come from Malta, another one from America. And I also have here Brother James on this session. So today we will start this session with the knowledge of sattvic food, meaning the food that we should eat to support our meditation practice. So as Brother Cheng, he's a herbalist and nutritionist. Sorry, yeah, I can't pronounce that. So yeah, so you can carry on from this point.
Okay, in modern times, with so many chemicals and problems added to foods, we must take what we eat seriously, because everything we put in our mouth has to be digested and processed by the body, and they create a consequence, positive or negative. So in ancient times, yogis who want to attain the highest state of purity of mind knew about the properties of foods, and therefore they realized that sattvic food, or the food of the yogis and the saints, was the way forward in order to help purify the mind and calm the mind. So sattvic food is just that. It's simple food, it's eating less, it's predominantly vegan, and it's a type of diet that is designed just to feed and nourish the body and not overstimulate the mind. So the foods consist of simple vegetables, not the spicy vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and pulses. And even the way they're cooked. So for example, fried greasy foods are not appropriate. The food should be soupy, light, and not too overcooked. In fact, the closer to raw they are, the better. So that's the basis of a sattvic diet. For flavoring, what is to be used is simple salt, herbs, and mild spice, not hot spices. Black pepper is allowed to a little extent, not greatly. Ginger is allowed, but certainly no chilies of any kind, or garlic, or even too much onion. The onion should be very less, and it should not be consumed raw. So if we eat a simple diet, a clean, healthy, simple diet, just enough to fill our belly without being bloated or heavy, then our minds will become light and simple and clean too. So this is the basis of the yogic practice since ancient times. And Sant Mat has very much taken on board this type of lifestyle. It's mentioned in Gurbani quite a bit in the Sikh religion. It's mentioned by the previous masters, the importance of diet. Even in Philosophy of the Masters by a great master, there's reference there to the importance of a sattvic diet in helping to keep the mind calm, clear, focused, and the body in good health in order to become a serious practitioner. So that's really what we mean by following a sattvic diet. But of course, it comes along with other things like keeping the body healthy through exercise, sleeping well, avoiding distressing situations or negative, dark, like visual or audio imagery, or music, even that type of music that is quite degrading to the mind. So this is a sattvic way of life. A serious practitioner, of course, would want to embrace all aspects of spirituality, including the pre-requirements for a successful meditation. So this is what we mean by following the sattvic vegan way of life. In olden days, sattvic diet did include buffalo milk, but in the West here, because milk is produced through cruelty, then it is no longer appropriate. In India, buffalo were treated like the mothers, like relatives in the family. So it's a very different type of atmosphere and treatment. So that's why milk now is excluded from the vegan diet that was allowed historically. Once somebody eats well, they think clearly, they become more positive, they're not agitated in their mind. So even when difficulties come their way, they don't react emotionally so easily because their body's in a state of calm because they've drank enough water, they've eaten the right food, and they've slept well, which is essentially what sattvic lifestyle is all about. So I just thought I'd give a little short introduction to this. There is a list, in fact, that you can even look online, or if you want to know specific foods. But I think if you follow the suggestions I've given, that's sufficient. I think now I'll hand you back over to Nay for the meditation session, which I believe she has planned for you.
Okay, so hopefully you enjoy short and brief talk from Brother James today. And I hope that you also put this into practice, because food is also very important preparation for successful meditation in our daily life. We can't eat too much hot food or spicy food and expect calm and peaceful meditation results. It's not work like that. So whatever we do, we have to become serious spiritual practitioner. So we try to look at our element in our life, how we can prepare better and better to be in the state of samadhi, to be in the state of meditation all the time. So we shall begin the meditation session today. So I would like all of you sit straight and with your spine and your neck straight in one line. We will start from breathe in and out deeply. To get rid of all the stress, all the anxiety, all aches and pain in our body, using the flow of breathing or the flow of qi to balance our body. First, breathe in and out for 3 to 5 times. Observe all the sensation in your body. Remember, when you do everything, do it with love. Breathe in with love. Send love to every part of your body. Send master love to yourself. If you previously breathing but you didn't include love in this, you will feel a lot different when you think and connect with master love first. Then you send this love throughout your physical body, your energetic body. When you breathe in and out deeply, it will remove some of the blockage of energy, some aches and pain, and anxiety or stress that accumulate in your aura, in your physical body. And if you do it correctly, you will start to feel that your attention start to raise up from the lowest chakra, which is our root chakra at the end of our spine, upward to the lower part of your stomach, up to the upper part of your stomach, which is solar plexus chakra. Continue to breathe in and out slowly with love. Observe all the sensation in your body. This is the preparation for the higher technique of meditation. Continue to observe that your attention will start to flow upward to your heart chakra in the middle of your chest. Send a lot of master love to your heart chakra. Observe all the sensation. Take a deep breath in again with love. And when you're ready at your own pace, you can raise your attention up to your throat chakra. Remember, this is only preparation, is the clearing of bad energy that you have been collect during the week, during the day. You replace all the bad energy inside yourself with calm, peacefulness, relaxation, and love. When you start to feel really relaxed, then your attention will start to float up to your wisdom eye center. Remember the wisdom eye center located around slightly above your eyebrow level inside your head. If you catch yourself that your attention still at your physical eye level, imagine yourself slightly gazing up inside. Step back a little bit so you be in the middle of your head. Try to observe your attention. Never drop down more than your physical eye level, because if you do, you will start to fall asleep during meditation. Try to remain awake inside and aware. Try to breathe in and out once again with love to create peace within yourself. And when you feel that you have come to the wisdom eye center, now we will learn the art of withdraw attention at the wisdom eye center. You can start to recite the holy names given to you by your master, the holy mantra given to you by your teacher. For some who don't have any mantra, you can use the word Sat Nam. You can slowly recite the word Sat Nam to calm your mind down. Remember, don't drop your attention downward. Remain at the wisdom eye center, gaze slightly upward inside. Okay? Start to recite the holy mantra. And when you recite the holy mantra, for some, you will start to experience some image come to you, some light come to you. Don't follow any image, any faces, any light. Remain at the center. Don't look in front or back, right or left. Remain in the center. Continue to recite the mantra to protect yourself from all negativeness. Whatever positive and meant for you to learn as a lesson today will come to you. You don't need to look for it. Be at the center. Recite the holy names. Recite the mantra sincerely, like you call upon your protectors to provide you protection. Remember, whatever you do, do it with love. Express your love to the protectors. I will leave all of you here for 5 minutes to try to withdraw your attention from this point. Remember, the result is not in our hand. In whatever you do, just enjoy. Enjoy with love. Ignore all the voices of your mind. If the mind starts to tell something to you, shouting to you, ask the mind to recite the mantra or the holy names with you. Okay? When you are able to narrow down your attention to one point at the Wisdom Eye Center, some of you will start to hear a subtle bell sound. Today, I want all of you to try to hear the long bell sound, the peal of the bell sound. There are many practice sounds, but the sound that pull us up will sound like bell. Sometime it might start as a small bell sound first. But when you be able to catch it, the bell sound will become louder and louder. Remember, this is the grace for Master. Don't be too serious. Don't have high expectation. But try your best and leave the rest to Master. If the bell sound come, you might hear from the distance first. Pick any direction. After that, bring the bell sound closer to you. Inner sound is very subtle sound, but in that sound there will be the pulling capacity, strong vibration in that sound. Remember, this is not the exercise of the mind, this is the exercise of your soul. We try to use capacity of the soul to listen to the sound, to its own self. When you start to be able to catch the bell sound, you might feel slightly uncomfortable because you feel the sudden pull from the bell sound. You can go back to breathing technique. To make the energy within yourself balance. And when you feel comfortable again, go back to catch the bell sound. Or if the bell sound is still there, try to listen even more closely. You will listen until you feel the stillness inside, the complete calm stillness inside. And at that point, the sound will disappear. When it disappears, it will start another sound. Some might hear some melody sound, like instrumental sound. Any sound that might be. Remember, try to catch the one with the strongest pulling capacity. If you want to catch the sound faster, I recommend you to remember your master, remember your beloved, remember God. Do this for master, do meditation for God. Then you will find that the sound effortlessly come to you. Because the sound current originate from love, from the ultimate love. When love manifests downward into creation, it creates sound current. And when you start to connect with this sound and you feel balanced and peaceful within yourself and you feel love within yourself, you will start to feel that the sound is dancing in the light. The light is dancing in the sound all around you. At this point, Don't focus on the sound. Don't focus on the light. Focus on the love with your master, the love of the master, the love that you have to God, to the Creator. Stay in the center always and observe whatever happens around. This is the dancing of the creation within the sound current. And within this sound current, you will start to see path masters, present master, or even future master, because they are the Shabd, they are the sound current. For some whose focus is not one point yet, you will feel the presence of the master. You might not see, you might not hear master talk to you, but you will feel something inside you that is very uplifting. Try to remember the day that you spend with your master, the day that you have conversation with master. Try to relieve it within this sound current. Okay, I will let all of you enjoy the presence of the master for 3 minutes here. Express your love to your master. A lot of love. Empty your cup to receive his love, to receive God's love. There is nothing but the Lord in the creation. The Lord is the beginning, the middle, and the end. There's nothing but the Lord. Okay. Right now, you can express your love to your family, to your friends, to the brother and sister, to all the animals, all the plants in this planet, to everyone in this entire creation. Send them God love. Send them Master love. Give them opportunity. In the future, they can become true seekers, just like all of us here. Slowly come back to your physical self. You can start to put your hand together. Rub your hand. Put on your face, your arms, your legs, your physical body. Rub it with love. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. Okay. So hopefully everybody have peaceful meditation and interesting experience during this meditation. Especially I want to emphasize about meditation on sound. Okay? Please continue to do the technique that I teach all of you today, and hopefully all of you can enjoy positive results after this. So now I welcome questions. If anyone have questions here, please open the microphone. You have good time? What of you? Okay. So anyone have questions? Please ask.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. My question is, first of all, I have to appreciate you for the wonderful meditation. Whenever I do this meditation, it always makes me feel very calm, cool, and be myself. I just love everything, love all situations and circumstances in my life. Yeah, with the meditation of the sound current, we just a bit more concerned. You know that in the sound current, I'm very used to the cricket sound that's always coming. Now, in the cricket sound, I have the bell sound. Now, inside the bell sound, there's other sound I still hear, like the running water. Then I still receive this sound like a violin, an instrument, violin trying to pull me. So I try to see which of these sounds should I pay attention to? Or I should just pay attention, I should not go along with all of them.
Yes. Go along with all of them as it take turn to manifest to you, but always stay with the sound that have pulling capacity the most. You will know inside, you will feel it. because at that time we use capacity of our soul to feel the sound. The part that you recognize the sound, oh, this is cricket sound, that is bell sound, another one is rain sound, another one is instrument sound. That's the mind comment upon, okay, this sound, that sound. When it happens, try to ignore, because we have to train ourselves to become a better listener. Yeah, when we listen, then actually at that time try to quiet our mind down, then the right sound will automatically come to you. You will see that that's a level of sound inside. Like you said, when you catch the cricket sound, then that cricket sound open up the bell sound, and from the small bell sound it go to the large bell sound, and then it become instrumental sound. Why I say instrumental sound? Because each and every one will be different. Some will hear violin sound, some will hear a harp sound. It's different, because we here come from different culture. So the instrument play in our culture will be different than each and every one, right? But whatever sound come to you, just enjoy. If you manage to catch even one right sound, that sound will pull you to the state of soundless sound, because you practice to ride within the sound current until you come to the stillness part of the sound current. And within that, it will open up you to the real form of the Lord, the real form of the Master. So that's the purpose of today's practice. So hopefully I answer your question, Brother Kasim. So next question, please.
I have a question, Nay. Thank you for the meditation, and hello, everyone. So you said something about listening with the soul, and then maybe you can say a little more about that, because what I find that, of course, my physical ears are still wanting to listen, and I'm listening from inside, but my physical ears still want to listen. So can you say something more about listening with the soul?
Listening with the mind and listening with the soul is two totally different things. Listening to the with the mind, it will have capacity of judging. You do judgment, you separate things. Oh, this is cricket sound, another one is like a bell sound. So that's the capacity of the mind to differentiate things. But actually, listen with the soul, come with the deep feeling of love. And that love actually reunite. It's not scatter. So when we use our listen, even we try to listen inside, sometimes we will feel that in that listening, we still feel our mind scatter into different direction. Like in one direction, you hear this sound. In another direction, you hear different sound. Because actually, we surround ourselves with sound. Everything vibrates with a certain vibration, and within that vibration, we can use our inner capacity to hear that. For example, this table here vibrate in a certain way, right? Maybe, for example, this flower here vibrate in a certain way. When we go inside, we will actually feel them and hear them, okay? Especially living thing. If you right now sit in a room with a living plant, you will actually hear the plant more than you hear, for example, this plastic flower, this chair, okay? So at first, when we close our eyes and we try to hear inside, we will keep hearing things from different direction. because things start to project itself to us in a sound form, in a vibration form. But after that, when we calm our mind down, using love as the mean, as the pull, right? We will activate the hearing from the soul. And the hearing from the soul actually reunite every vibration in the room. At first, it will look like separate thing. After that, everything will merge into one energy of love. And it will come to the center. Then you will feel, now everything start to be still. Okay? Start to calm down in one energy, in that oneness. So from that, actually, from that stillness, you will get pulled to the next level of love as well. Because at first, you will feel, okay, you here in this room, enjoy the energy of this room. After that, you forget completely that you here in this room, in this energy of this room. The whole universe start to open up to you. So you feel like, oh, I'm in an empty space. But that empty space is full of love. Okay? And in that, the feeling of so fulfilling with love, you will start to remember actually the moment that you spend with Satguru in human form, with your master. The moment you spend with God in human form, because he vibrates similar to this feeling that you have at that moment. So this is wonderful. I try my best, from my limit human language to explain something that we cannot actually explain but experience. Okay? Hopefully it helped, Heather.
Yeah, thank you. That helps a lot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay.
Hello,
So,
Sister Nay.
hello.
I want to know more about the love. Actually, I have never been able to get a chance to interact with the Master. Actually, I have more interacted with Brother James more than the current Masters. So,
Okay.
can I use the love as I have interacted with Brother James that moments to move forward to have focus in my meditation?
Okay, let me ask Brother James. Right? James? He's in deep meditation, so I have to call you out. So this is good example, okay? Some people, when they meditate for multiple lifetime, they really go into very deep state of meditation. When you call someone out from meditation, remember, tap on their forehead, okay? Never like shake their hand, their body, because it's dangerous. Because this is here is the seat of the soul. To call everybody that in deep state of meditation out, you tap on their forehead right here. Okay? Right? So Aniket, please ask Brother James again because he didn't hear you. He was not here earlier.
No problem, Brother James. It's really nice to talking with you again. I thank the Lord that He gave me the chance to talk with you again. First of all,
Brother. It's always good to see a brother on.
It's Brother Aniket.
Yes.
He spoke to you several times.
Yes.
He's from India. Are you from
Yes.
India, right?
yes, I'm
Yes,
from
yes,
India.
yes.
Punjab.
I know the brother. We've spoken online.
Okay, go on.
Brother James, I have a question on love. Actually, by the chance, I was not able to have any interaction with any of the masters of the current modern age. So my question is that whatever I've interacted with you, can I use that and express the love as Sister Nee told me earlier to express the love in meditation to achieve focus?
Yes, if you feel a strong connection of love, then wherever that love takes you, follow it. You can never go wrong with love, particularly in spiritual love, spiritual practice. Remember, the Shabd is the Guru, the real Shabd. And when that Shabd has taken its abode within somebody, then that person becomes embodiment of love of the Shabd. if you feel that Shabd within them, then whoever that person may be, you're most welcome to focus upon them, and they will connect you to that Shabd. So it is perfectly fine when it's based on love of the Shabd and that pull within.
Okay, Brother James. Thank you so much for your answer. I really thank you. Thank the God.
Carry on. Yes.
Okay, next question, please.
Hello, dear sister and brother. So nice to see you. When you said that we can do nothing about or do something to hear the sound, the bell sound, then suddenly an imaginary bell sound popped up in my mind. And I never had that before. This was the first time. I always focused on this cricket sound and these things that I hear, and now this imaginary bell sound popped up. How about that? Should I use that? Because it's even now I can hear it like imaginary. I don't know how to explain.
Okay, James, you can answer that.
You see, these are what we call practice sounds. Sounds which are imagined are just practice sounds. They're based upon our relationship with, say, a conversation we've had or a thought process we've had. The actual bell sound that pulls you is very powerful. It needs no introduction. You do not need to question it. If you're questioning the sound, that this is generated by the mind, and this is a practice sound. When the pull of the bell sound comes, because the bell sound comes from your own soul, actually, and it's your soul calling you, and this bell sound pulls you towards its source automatically. There's no need to understand it or question it. It's a sound of love, and it's a sound of this melody, this wonderful melody that carries within it wisdom. Because the real bell sound is not just a sound, it's wisdom too. It enhances your intuition. It directs you to your own truth called self-realization. So if you're having to try to understand whether you're hearing the bell sound or not, then this sound is an imagined sound. But it doesn't mean that you ignore it. Just enjoy it. And eventually the imagination leads to the real thing.
Yes.
So whatever sound comes before you, make sure it's always in the center. Don't follow the left or the right, nor down. If it's up or center, then you can follow that sound. And you'll never go wrong. So don't worry, you're doing very well, whether it's imagined or not, because even your ability to imagine is restricted. So if you're capable of that, it means you're making little progress along the way. So well done, sister.
Okay.
So during the meditation, actually, when I start to introduce the bell sound, at first, right, I saw an image of Ishwarpuriji holding a bell and ringing like this in front of me, right? And I'm questioned a little bit like, oh, is that like an entity try to call me, you know? Then I wait, right? I wait in the center, like Brother James said. Then, you know, the bell and Ishwarji actually come closer and merge at the Wisdom Eye Center. So whatever experience that you have, even imaginary, wait and check a little bit, you know, stay in the center always. Don't go forward, backward, left or right because you get too excited. No, don't do that, okay? Remain calm, stay at the center. Nothing can harm you, right? If you only stay at the Wisdom Eye Center, nothing can harm you. We have full protection from the Lord and our Master. Unless by your own will, you're too excited and you follow that entity out. Yeah, that when you will get trapped, you know, that when you will stop progress a little bit because you give something attention inside. So the safest way, anything at all happen in your meditation, don't get too excited. Stay calm. Try to remain calm and at the center. Then true experience will come and open up to you. Yeah. And well done for the bell sound, because I feel like, oh, Ishwaji give us all gift today, because he come and hold the bell. You know, like the bell that they put on the table and they ring.
Yeah.
So I feel like, maybe today Master want to show us the bell sound.
May I just add a little more?
Yes, please.
You know, with sound meditation, in order to isolate yourself from the outside environment and also to connect with yourself more deeply, there is an actual special position that Master teaches us to get into. And from a sitting position, if we're not sure, if we're hearing the sound quite strongly and we're thinking it's an imaginary sound, whatever the sound may be, to clarify better, to go deeper with the sound, we block our outward observances in this way. I'll just give you a quick demonstration because I know you're initiated. So you just lean forward, put your elbows on your knees like this, you cover the eyes like this, and you put your thumbs inside your ears and block the external sounds.
Yep.
And by doing this, the sound will become much clearer. And you'll be able to focus on the sound much more deeply. So this is the method that's taught to initiates of a perfect living master when they catch the sound. So whenever you catch the sound, switch into what they call the bhajan position, into the sound position, and you'll definitely be able to go much deeper into the sound state.
Is this also for this cricket sounds and all these other practice
Any
sounds?
sounds you hear, any practice sounds you hear, if the sounds are clear, then you switch to the bhajan position. And what will happen is that the sounds change. They will become, if you're able to focus, during the other important thing is during the sound meditation, you do not repeat the names. This is a listening experience only, no talking, because talking itself is a sound. Even when it's done by the mind, it interferes with the sound. So when you switch to the bhajan position, you immediately remain silent and just listen. You listen, you're not talking anymore. See, doing the simran is talking. Now you're a listener. This is the listening part. And in fact, the listening part is more advanced than the talking part.
And it doesn't matter?
Yes, much better, because it's the sound meditation that saves you. The Shabbat Dun is a sound melody that you connect with, and that's the one that takes you home. It's the melody that takes you home, not seeing anything. The seeing is just to encourage you that you are getting somewhere, that the master's there, there's something else other than the physical. But it's the sound that is the magic in this meditation that takes you home. It's the sound current that you ride along. The sound current contains all the wisdom of the saints, and it becomes yours. That wisdom becomes yours. This is they use the word sound because that's the nearest thing we have in the English language. It's actually of a melody. And this melody comes directly from your soul and it's calling you towards it. But in the beginning, when it enters the mind realm, the mind hijacks the sound and interprets it in many ways according to the condition of the mind. And we call these hijacked sounds practice sounds. But when we focus even to the higher point of the mind, to the refined mind, then these sounds, the practice sounds fall away and the real sound comes. And the first real sound is the bell sound. Once you catch the bell sound, you follow that, you ignore every other sound. And this bell sound naturally pulls you. There's no questions asked about whether you're hearing the bell sounds or not, because it pulls you, it draws you in very fast towards itself. And it opens you up into a state of wisdom. So along with hearing that the bell sound, wisdom suddenly awakens within you. And and you don't want to come back. A person who catches the dun, the Shabbat dun of the bell, never wants to come out of meditation. They never want to come back. So this is not always given to you at certain times in your life. For example, if you're raising a family or if you're having a lot of external responsibilities, because you'll never want to come back. You'll quite happily leave them. This is something that the mind cannot understand. How can a mere sound, because the word sound conjures up an image in us, How can a simple sound be so powerful that we even give up our family, even give up our life, even give up our bodies for? Because this sound is the calling of the soul, and it pulls you towards it. So this is reserved for people who are in a state of their life where they have no real serious responsibilities. Children may be grown up, they have no dependents, life is quite simple and decluttered for them. Then they catch the bell sound. Sometimes, though, even a householder can hear the very subtle bell. It's very weak, but it still has a pulling feeling. But they're not able to draw near to it because they haven't reached a point in their life where they're able to withdraw from life. But once you catch the bell, so this is why so much is written about the bell sound in particular. There are other sounds beyond the bell, which are far greater. But the bell sound is the first sound you'll come, because it comes from your own soul. That's pulling you towards your own truth. And we call this self-realization. So don't worry too much. Any sound you have that's coming around the center, then enjoy. Go into the bhajan position, enjoy the sound. And if your time has come, and this is not in your hands at all, this is in the Lord's hands, and you should be introduced to the proper bell sound, they call it big bell sound rather than twinkly bells, the big bell sound, then that will pull you within and wisdom will become yours. So, but in whatever state, just enjoy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, any more questions? I will take 2 more questions, please.
I have a question. Hi, it's Dana. It's so great to see you both. Thank you so much. I love this discourse and the feeling around the sound and love. I actually have a question about the diet that came up earlier.
Okay.
Is cheese a bar to spiritual progress? Because Ishwarji and I, we like to eat pizzas together sometimes. So I was just curious about that. And it's so great to see you again. And I look forward to meeting you both.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So you can answer about you can answer about the
You
diet.
see, this is an interesting point about diet. When you reach Parbrahm, when you cross the level of the mind, the diet is not important. You can even eat animals if you wanted to. There's no effect because you're above the law of karma. The difference is that saints have to set the example for those who have not gone beyond the level of karma. So then even when they are advanced enough and they can eat anything, they still won't indulge for the sake of the Sangha. So in the modern day, particularly in the West, where dairy is produced so cruelly, if you eating cheese or any cruelty product, it is not possible for you to get enlightened. You cannot become enlightened through anyone else's suffering. You have to reduce the suffering to such a point that it's easily paid off. Even vegetables, if you eat too much, which is why if you notice even Ishwarji ate very small amounts, he hardly touched his food, because saints or enlightened ones do not want the low vibrations of the food to stop their higher vibrational energy. So all foods in some way lower your energy levels. So what they're saying is that if you eat less, even the vegetables, light, simple food, then you don't have something weighing you down so much. So yes, on top of that, if dairy products or anything produced by cruelty adds another layer of difficulty, another weight to your load. Plus, if you eat dairy that's produced in a cruelty manner, then you also have to deal with the suffering of that. It adds karma to your load. You have to also pay that karma off as well before you can make progress. So the exceptions are masters or enlightened ones. And because Ishwarji was old school, he came from a time in India where buffaloes and cows were treated like mothers. They were treated like relatives with respect. There's no cruelty. So therefore, it was acceptable in those days at the time of, say, Great Master to eat dairy. Had Great Master been born in this day, he would most certainly be vegan. And he would most certainly eat frugally, small amounts, very less. So these are the marks of the yogis and the saints. Saints, you say, they eat 1 meal a day, roughly, and they eat a light, simple meal. In the past, the yogis, for example, used to eat just something called khichdi in India. And you may know what that is.
No, I don't. What is this?
For those who don't, it is a rice-based dish. So it's basically rice with dal mixed together. And it was cooked, and that was it. They didn't even have chapati, roti. They didn't have any other heavy food. They had that, and then they had a little bit of ghee they used to drink with that or pour onto it. That was it, but mostly water. They didn't even drink anything else. They never ate anything, not even fruit, not even vegetables. They had this thing because this food contained sufficient proteins, carbs, and fats to keep their body ticking over whilst they were in this yogic practice. So in the times of Kabir, for example, that was what was prescribed. The serious yogis would eat just khichdi. And that's it, never anything else, and water. So we're much more lenient now in the sense of the modern age. But then we also have to take into account that there's certain cruelty involved in certain products. So we can't have this ghee now that they used to eat in those days, because the ghee is not produced with love from the animal, it's now cruelty. So, but I'm not suggesting that people in the modern day in the West live on khichdi, because they might find that boring. See, in those days, they were very serious about spiritual practice. It was everything to them. They had no internet, no TV, no distractions. There weren't really major social events going on. So people very much did their duty. It was all about dharma. Dharma was the thing of the time. Do your dharma, do your duty, responsibility, and then you eat light food, and then you meditate or contemplate upon the truth of the Lord. And that was their whole way of life. They did only that. Nowadays, because we are so used to being sensory stimulated, we like tasty foods, we like to have excitement, we like to see wonderful movies and everything. So life's still different. That's why it takes longer for people now to become enlightened than it did in the past, because we enjoy these distractions. So Master says, okay, here's your limit, go so much, do this and do that, but keep that in mind, that your objective is spiritual truth. So diet plays a big part of it, but also does sensory stimulation. If you're listening to dark music, if you're listening to negative movies, watching negative movies, surround yourself with negative, miserable people and so on, then you're going to become negative and miserable like them. The company keep affects you. The company and the environment you keep affects you. So there's a whole formula prescribed. And these things are not mentioned in the books of the past because they didn't exist. Nobody had that kind of music and movies and atmospheres and social media and all kinds of it. Didn't exist then. That's why there's no real reference. But in the modern day, if Great Master was here, he'd be exactly very strict on this. We know that Babaji himself is against social media most strongly. He says the greatest mischief of mankind, because they don't know how to use it properly. So he avoids it altogether. This doesn't even like being on the internet. He was forced to go on the internet when the COVID struck, and he said, I have to admit that I have to now do these YouTube videos and everything, but he was against that too. So things have changed, times have changed. So yes, veganism is very important in the modern age, but so also withdrawing from other negative or dark forces that take our mind away from our higher truth seeking and our peacefulness of mind. Anything that disturbs the peace, run away from it. Anything that draws you away from love and truth, run away from it. That's the answer.
And a good one. Thank you. I like the simple. I vote go back to simplicity. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, very good. You get good results with simplicity. Declutter your life, as I say.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna take last questions. So anyone have questions now? Or...
Yes, I think we have a question in the chat box by Pankaj Gulati. It's for James. Can you explain more about the way to sit? I sit only on lotus position and use earplugs to cover ears.
Okay. The point of the bhajan position or the sound position is to connect the eye center with the ears, to link a continuous flow of current. This isolates you from the outside world. So since ancient times, really going back to even before Kabir, they assumed a bhajan position. So when you're in a lotus position, I'm sitting now here in the lotus position. All I have to do is simply lean forward and put my elbows on the tops of my knees. So automatically now I have support. Then I just place my fingers so that my fingers touch at the eye center, the tips of the fingers, and cover the eyes without putting pressure on the eyes, and then push your fingers in just enough into the ears so that you start hearing a kind of humming sound. Every single person who does this will automatically catch the sound of the hum, the first level of hum. And this humming sound is the lowest level of sound that the masters recognize. And it is to demonstrate that within us, within our brain, there's a sound that's making our brain work. And this is called a humming sound. The brain itself is generating a sound, and it's a hum. And everybody can hear this noise. Anyone, even if they're not on the path, if they go into this position, they'll hear a sound. So when somebody says, I'm not hearing any sound in meditation, it's just simply not possible. It's only because they're not actually closing themselves off to the outside world sufficiently. So you can try this at any time, and it really does work.
Okay. I want to add that this sound meditation, actually, you should not try without a proper guidance or instruction, because this is very important. Okay, it can do more harm than good if you just attempt to do it without permission from master. Okay, because this is the higher art of meditation. We need a lot of preparation to get to this point of listen to the inner sound inside. Okay, but whoever presents today, I believe that you have gift, maybe from past life, maybe from this lifetime, to know or learn about this. But please seek proper guidance to do this sound meditation. And also, instead of using earplug, the reason that we use our hand, because our hand have energy, like chi energy, okay, that flow inside our hand. And when you try to put your hand together, you do like this, you will feel the energy that flow from your palm, right? So when we use our hand like this, it's actually used as the block of energy, like a positive energy around you, the first layer, okay? So you actually will have a better, more successful sound meditation, more than you use any other tools outside yourself that have less energy, less protection. That's why this technique, we should carry on. Even, you can sit on the chair like me. You bring a pillow, slightly, like a big pillow. You use it to support, and you do it. It's also good as well, because I know that Westerners have difficulty, right, to do squat position.
Yes.
But for Asian, it's very easy for us.
So, because the frames of Asians are smaller, they're smaller build, they tend to be slimmer. So they're used to that position. But yes, you can even use a table. You can sit with a chair and you put your elbows on the table, and you can do that. The idea is to support the elbows so it's more comfortable for you, so you're not aware of the support mechanism, and that you can just focus on the sound. But this is a secret technique that separates Shabd yoga from all the other techniques. Because in yogic practices, yes, everybody knew about sitting in the lotus position, and a lot of people talk about the eye center. But the bhajan part of it, the Shabbat meditation, that's the secret of the masters. And as Nay said, this should only be practiced properly by somebody who's initiated. A non-initiate may encounter, because of the power of this, may encounter some unpleasant experiences according to their karma. Negative forces may come, they may see not so nice things. Anything is possible, but a true lover, I have to say, a true lover of the Lord, a person who has a clean mind, a clean heart, non-judgment, even if they're not initiated, but they are true lovers of a living saint, and they call upon that saint during their Lotus Position meditation or the light meditation, then if they do hear a sound and they go into the sound position, it'll be fine for them. The Lord will still protect them. So I hope that answers the question more fully.
Okay, so thank you very much for this session today. So hopefully all of you get to enjoy this session with Master Grace. So whatever I and James have, we not owner of this, okay? We only pass it on to all of you because we received this from our Master, okay? And hopefully this help all of you in daily life as well, okay? So God bless you all. Master bless you all.